The story goes that in the 13th century, Prince Llewellyn the Great had a palace in Carnarvonshire, and as the prince was a keen hunter, he spent much of his time in the surrounding countryside. He had many hunting dogs, but one day when he summoned them as usual with his horn, his favorite dog Gelert didn't appear. So regretfully Llewellyn had to go hunting without him. When Llewellyn returned from the hunt, he was greeted by Gelert, who came bounding towards him, his jaws dripping with blood. The prince was appalled, and a horrible thought came into his mind. Was the blood on the dog's muzzle that of his 1-year-old son? His worst fears were realized when he saw in the child's nursery an upturned cradle and walls spattered with blood. He searched for the child, but there was no sign of him. Llewellyn was convinced that his favorite hound had killed his son. Mad with grief, he took his sword and plunged it into Gelert's heart. As the dog howled in his death agony, Llewellyn heard a child's cry coming from underneath the upturned cradle. It was his son, unharmed. Beside the child was an enormous wolf, dead, killed by the brave Gelert. Llewellyn was struck with remorse and carried the body of his faithful dog outside the castle walls, and buried him where everyone could see the grave of this brave animal and hear the story of his valiant fight with the wolf.